It's 19 minutes past 8 now, and I think we should get going. If you'd like to get the video clip ready. So we're going to see the winning speech by Alexandre Matte. He won this speech in 2022, and the speech was called No Bake Cake. So just a little bit about the speaker. Alexandre joined Toastmasters in 2007. He started from fearing the stage to loving it. And that's amazing. Oh, now where are we? You okay there, Troy? Okay. So in 2022, Alexandre took second place in the World Champion of Public Speaking with a speech titled No Bake Cake. Since then, Alexandre continued to give back to the organization and to its members by offering participative training sessions and keynotes to districts and special events. So sit back and enjoy this clip. And from what you've heard tonight, you should be able to maybe give a quick evaluation of the speech that we can discuss later and attempt your own evaluation of it. So over to you now, Troy, to run the video clip. Thank you. Would you turn the sound on, Troy? There's no sound.
Missing ingredient. Missing ingredient, Alexandre Matte.
Thank you, Contest Chair.
You're welcome.
If you're there in Nashville, you see me on huge screens. And I would rather be there, there, wherever the middle is, on stage, in person. So why am I here and not there? That I can tell you in one word: tradition. In the movie Fiddler on the Roof, Tevier, the father of the house, struggles between the traditions that hold his people together and the changing world around him. I really identify with Tevier. For me, there is nothing more important than tradition, tradition. Contest Chair, my friends online and my friends on site, for generations, my family has had a tradition. All the family gathers all together on the same date. This date. When I was a child, these gatherings centered around the main ingredient, my grandmother, Grand-Maman, humble, resilient, and the best cook in the world. She made our family's special dessert, le gâteau pas cuit. Mwah! Le gâteau pas cuit. Would you like some subtitles? It's the no-bake cake. The no-bake cake is a simple recipe made from crushed cookies, coffee, and chocolate. Do you like it already? As Grand-Maman became older and her grandchildren more numerous, she passed the torch to the next generation, her eldest daughter. We were now in my Aunt Christiane's house, and we ate Christiane's no-bake cake. My Uncle Pierre, the little brother, he was sure to tease her every time. Yeah, Christiane, you don't make it as good as Grand-Maman. If Grand-Maman was the cookies, the main ingredient of the family, Christiane was the coffee, full of energy and flavor. So we started to think that maybe our family would crumble when Christiane left us too soon. Her brothers and sisters scrambled to keep the tradition going and to hold the family together. Who's hosting? Who's bringing the chairs? Who's preparing the games? And I'm thinking, who's making the cake? Well, it's important. It's tradition. I wanted to do my part. So I took Grandmama's recipe and I followed the instructions to the letter, which is not easy. Start with a chunk of butter. Chunk? I don't know what that is. I surprised my family the first time I brought the no-bake cake. And my Uncle Pierre had the first bite. Oh, yeah, you don't make it as good as Christiane. Ah, too much butter, I bet. Well, Pierre, what's wrong with it? How long did you leave it on the counter? What do you mean? You have to leave it on the counter at least 24 hours, so the no-bake cake has time to not bake. Okay, Pierre. Well, each year after that, I created a slightly improved version of the no-bake cake based on Pierre's constructive feedback. The cookies are not crushed right. It is too dry. The pieces, they are too big. He still ate more than his fair share. 12 years after my first try, Pierre said something different. Oh, Alexandre, your cake, it tastes like childhood. What? It's just cake. Or is it? No, just like any family special recipe, our no-bake cake is a symbol. It's a reminder of those we love and those we lost. And it's also really, really good. Now, this year marks the first year without our main ingredient. Without Grandmama, I don't know, maybe our family will crumble? Tradition! In that movie, Fiddler on the Roof, everything crumbles around Tevier. His daughters question the people's traditions. The family is evicted. All the villagers are forced out of their town. But the people remain because of their traditions. Yes, some are gone, some are changed, some are morphed, but others remain, and others are created. And it is those traditions that have held those people together for thousands of years. Will my family crumble? No. Because I know my cousins will be there to hold the torch, each one of them adding a special ingredient to our family's traditions. One of them is hosting us, one of them is bringing a karaoke machine, and I have the no-bake cake. Together, we are holding together the family. My friends, what do you want to hold together? Your family? Your community? Your social group? Think about the traditions that exist in that group and do your part to keep them alive. And if no tradition exists, create one. Okay, you might have been waiting for it, my friends, so here it is. This is my no-bake cake. You want a piece? I can give you one. Just reach out and take it. There you go. Yes, take it. It's for you. Take it as a reminder of the importance of traditions. And remember, traditions hold us together. Contest chair.
Wasn't that a fantastic speech? I was quite taken by it. I hope you are too. And with every speech comes an evaluation. And tonight we are honored to have one of our presenters evaluate Alexandra's speech, and that is by Te Maramatanga Hohaia. So just a little bit about Te Marama. She has been a Toastmaster for 5 years and is a member of Stratford and Northern Impromptu Clubs. She is the immediate past Division Director for Division P. Te Marama has a depth of knowledge and effective evaluations, and tonight she will demonstrate how it's done when she evaluates the speech from Alexandra. So please sit back and enjoy Te Marama's evaluation. Welcome, Te Marama.
Thank you very much, Marlene. Fellow Toastmasters and any gregarious guests that we might have at this evaluation education tonight. I've just watched a speech, and what a speech it was, and tonight I am evaluating that speech. I've never seen that speech, and mere seconds later I am presenting to you as robust an evaluation as I can. I'm going to use the commend, recommend, and challenge method wrapped up in the highlights and sparkles and shine that our speaker tonight has given to us. Alexandre Matte, a successful speaker. Wow, and I get to provide that evaluation. Awesome, and yet still shaking in my booties. I do want to highlight, though, some key things, and one being the question that he opened with. Why here and not there? And the vocal variety that he used around the word tradition, tradition, tradition. And it got bigger and bolder and louder as it went through the speech. An important part or aspect to be highlighted was all the gestures that he was able to include. His grandmother, the eldest daughter, and that chunk of butter. My goodness, it just wrapped me up and it made me feel like, yes, I see that person. I might even hear them or see them in the kitchen baking the cake. Particularly enjoyed all the feels that he showed. There were moments on the edge of my seat where I thought he was truly going to break out into tears. And thankfully he wasn't. He didn't, because I would have been there too. But what he did highlight was the importance of family and feasts, and also the importance of friends and carrying on those traditions. Areas to spotlight, those areas that we want to add a little bit more into. The feels was one of those things, and perhaps he might like to be able to include a little bit more pause, so that not only could I as an audience member kind of sit with him and share that space and that moment, but perhaps also be able to ensure that you are able to capture it as well. Another area to spotlight was the moving that he did. Very effective in being able to engage. There was depth, there was height, there was width, there was everything in that speech. I also thought that perhaps he could just slow it down a little bit more and give us that chance to catch up so we can hear and resonate with what he's talking about. And an area that I thought Alexandre might want to challenge himself is to be able to look at that word of tradition, to let us truly understand his meaning of it. And I say that because I could not quite grasp the link with Fiddler on the Roof. So perhaps his own idea of tradition, and something in his words might also match with my ideas of tradition. And as such, we too would be able to grow in that aspect of what tradition is and why it's important and why it makes a great speech. In summary, I've highlighted his vocal variety, his use of gestures, also the eye contact that he had, and all the feels that he gave me. I've spotlighted a couple of areas for him to consider improving in, such as taking a moment to pause with us, but also pause in that movement that he was making throughout the speech. And then the final area was the challenge of expanding on his own idea of tradition that might match in with my idea of tradition, and as a result, make it a truly fantastic speech for myself. Fellow Toastmasters, I hand back to you, Marlene.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that wonderful evaluation to Maramatanga. You are so right. It is an incredible speech and you did a great job to uplift the speaker. Thank you.